So here we have a flow to work on those back muscle a little bit. You are going to find your way onto your stomach when you're ready. And remember, if at any point this feels a little bit precarious to be in this position, you can pop a pillow underneath your hips. Okay, but we're gonna start forehead resting on the hands. And also at any point, you can kind of think about that gentle pelvic tilt to gently push into the floor or into your pillow. From here, head and hands stay connected the whole time. You're going to think about lifting your elbows first, and then keep lifting your elbows to hover your head and your hands up off the mat. And then exhale as you lower down. Elbows lift first, feeling the shoulder blades come together slightly. And that sweeps your head up off the mat. Exhaling to lower. And then thinking as you lift your elbows, yes, shoulder blades are feeling like they're contracting, but they're actually gently traveling into your armpits. Tiny little micro pause at the top. Keeping energy through the legs, keeping that little bit of that belt buckle tilt. Let's do one more. Oh yeah, feeling that work between the shoulder blades, as well as down those paraspinals that are running next to your spine. From here, whichever hand is on top is going to be the one we start with. So my left hand is on top. I'm going to keep pressing down into my right hand the whole time. This time, lift the left elbow only. That's going to take your left hand and forehead up off the mat. And then exhale to lower down. Left elbow only. Keep lifting the elbow to hover the forehead. And lower down. On this next one, we'll add in that rotation. Left elbow lifts. Keep lifting it to lift the head. Take a peek at your elbow to rotate, unravel, and come down. We'll do two more on that side. Elbow lifts. Keep lifting, peek. Don't be afraid to press into that opposite hand. So you're keeping energy through that right forearm the whole time. And then on this one, you're going to switch which hand is on top. Right hand on top. Left hand presses down into the mat. Lifting the elbow to hover. And exhaling to lower down. One more, kind of staying in that relatively straight plane. Gaze stays down at your hand. And then on this next one, we'll add that rotation. Elbow lifts. Keep lifting that tip of the elbow to peek under your armpit. And lower all the way down. And again, elbow lifts. Again, that left hand is pressing down. So you're getting this nice push-pull action. Right elbow is pulling up towards the ceiling. Left elbow is pushing the floor away. And down. Good. From here, you're going to prop yourself up on your forearms. Okay, now the closer the elbows are in towards your body, the more of that extension you're going to go into. So start with your elbows a little further out in a spot that feels relatively comfortable. If you have that pillow under your hips, think about a gentle push into it with your groin. And then from here, you're going to let your shoulder blades come together and push your shoulder blades apart. Pull them together and push them apart. When you push apart, you are also lifting your front ribs away from your t-shirt. So you should feel like you're getting a lift from your pubic bone all the way up to your sternum. Let's go for two more. Yeah, and to keep that little bit of that belt buckle tilt, that pelvic tilt, glutes are definitely squeezing a little bit. But think about that squeeze is sending energy out through your toes. Good, come down. If you need a moment in child's pose, feel free to just push back and take a breath or two there. Just a little sway maybe. And then one more on your stomach here. This time, arms are long by your sides, palms are facing up towards the ceiling. You're relaxed to start. Think about lifting the front of your shoulders to lift your hands. You lift the back of your triceps to hover your head. And then you lower down. So it's this wave of energy. Shoulder blades, lift the arms, lift the hands, lift the head. And then you lower all the way down. And again, sending that energy back and up. So it's like you're reaching for your feet as well as the ceiling. Let's do two more. Inhaling to wave the energy down to the fingertips. And exhaling to lower. Your gaze should stay relatively straight down because you're never moving your head independent of your arms. And lower all the way down. Good. Same thing. A little break in child's pose if you need it. And then you're going to come onto one side from here. Setting yourself up, bottom forearm on the mat. Knees are bent. And find that moment of lift from the bottom side waist. You're going to start with that top side clamshell. Lifting the top knee and lowering down. You have that energy out through your knee. So you're thinking about really making a long angle. Okay. And that's going to help keep your waistband nice and stacked here. Yeah. Checking in on that bottom shoulder as well. Tends to want to just kind of sink in eventually. You're going to keep pressing down through the mat. All right, and then we're going to add in that hip lift. So as the knee lifts, you're going to lift your waistband and then lower everything down. The bottom leg is working really hard here as well. So you're really splitting your thighs in both directions, even though that bottom leg doesn't actually move. But you're really thinking, if I can push the floor away from my top knee, it would be traveling down into that sub-basement. Let's go for two. Good. You're lifting your waistband and your ribs here. Last one. Awesome. Lower down and swap sides. Okay, same thing, taking that moment to set yourself up. Kind of sink in first. You can really feel the lift. And then starting with that lower and lift of the top knee. And now that you've done this on your first side, you should feel that glute working even a little bit more, because it's already done the hard work on the first side as well. All right. One more like that. And then we're going to add in that hip lift. Knee and hip together and lower down. My elbow is just a little far out for my taste, so I'm going to pop it under so that when I lift, that shoulder is able to press straight down into the elbow. Yeah, same thing. It's that bottom knee driving down. It's going to give you a little bit of glutes. And then a little bit of that back muscle right above the glutes. Let's go for two. Last one. Beautiful. Okay. And there you have it. A flow to help access those low back and glute muscles.